Hey guys, it's Z.A.K here, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a build review slash after run kind of review of my Losi 22. So yeah, this is the 22 2.0 from TLR, as you guys might see from the side. And yeah, I got this in December, and for Christmas, I had a really great price from A-Main Hobbies. Now, if you didn't follow A-Main's on their website, they had Christmas specials, and one of them was this good little car for $160 with free shipping, plus some coupon codes I used, so it was like $150. And this thing's original price is like $300. So this was just, I had to get this. So yeah, I was planning on it. Actually, I was planning on buying a mid motor. I was actually going to get a B5M, and then I was like, yeah, we should probably wait and see what else is on this Christmas deal thing that A-Main has. And this just happened to be on it. I was like, yep, we're getting it. Threw it in the cart, got it. It's here right now. So yeah, I've not ran this in rear motor yet, which I should probably do that before shooting this video. But the truth is I'm never going to use this in rear motor. I'm only using it in mid motor because I got my B4 over there. And yeah, it's basically my only rear motor buggy, and that's just going to be where it's going to be. So yeah, it's just going to be a mid motor. Now for tires, I've constantly only been running these tires, and I've been running this indoors. I have not ran it outdoors yet, obviously, because it's winter. There's like feet of snow on the ground, so I can't run it on my backyard track yet. So right here, I am running some Losi BK Bars in the rear, and some Hot Bodies tires in the front that look awfully familiar to the Jconcepts barcodes. So that's what I'm running. The Losi wheels in the back that are like the weird kind of wheel with the lip on it, and then the TLR front wheels. So yeah, bad things about the car. Well, obviously everybody knows the front axles suck on this car because they aren't even axles, they're screws. Now, they're supposed to look like this little nut on that you can just use a 7mm wrench on, but they keep backing out. And this one I almost lost when I was at Innovative Hobbies. And now this one I've also lost at Innovative, but it was the time before, and yeah, I lost it, and the replacements weren't there, so we decided to use a screw, and yeah, that worked. And also I looked at some replacement wheel nuts for this thing for the front. They're like $7, so there's no way I'm getting new ones of those. I'm fine with staying with screws, and I just threw on Loctite on this one, and it's all good. It doesn't even look that bad. I mean, it looks just like the other side almost, just going fast. I mean, this thing's fast. Probably not going to notice it. And yeah, another downside, not with my 22, but there's this other 22 at my track practicing when me and ZJRC went. We'll have a link in the description for all of the videos we posted, which you guys should probably watch if you subscribe to his channel. And the other 22, I think, was running mod or stock, I don't know, but the bottom bumper broke off. Now I think I have it in here somewhere. I can find it. I'll show it to you. Well, I can't find it, but yeah, the bumper broke off, and the screws actually pulled through the holes on the bottom, but it wasn't too bad. It's like he was using the wrong size, or it just forced out and it bent back into shape. Got a little dirt right there. So yeah, and I never painted the stock body or touched it really, so I don't have anything to say about the body. But this body, this is the Jconcepts V1 Finisher body, which is for the 22 version 1, the 22 regular. And it's a really, I don't like it. I would not recommend it. I mean, there's no cutting guides for cutting the mid-motor chassis, and I could have just left the huge amount covering over this part here, but I didn't know where to cut, and obviously it's my first body for this car, and I never used it. So that kind of sucked. And then also, the front of the body is starting to come off, so I had to hot glue and fiberglass it. I don't use shoe glue, guys. I just hot glue it. It works just fine. And, yeah, that was another downside of the car. And all these downsides, I'm telling you guys, the bumper one didn't even happen to me. It was just the other guy. He probably was beating on it more. I mean, I've been beating the crap out of this car, and nothing's happening that I broke yet. The only part I broke, which I would not consider a break, but the servo horn actually went out. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So in there, you can see I've upgraded to a Dynamite servo horn that's red, the red aluminum one. And it's mounted up to my Metal Gear Savox 0252 servo, SC0252 servo. And it's stripped out because this servo is high torque and it's Metal Gear, and this car, as you know, does not have a servo saver or anything like that in the car, so it just broke. It stripped out the splines, and I had to buy an aluminum one. Now, the bad thing about this kind of steering setup this buggy has is it's really hard to fit a servo horn in there that's like the Dynamite one. So I had to cut down, let me see if I see it, the top of it, as you can kind of tell right there. I had that shiny top part where the ball stud's connected. I had to cut it down, and that's how it fit, and it barely clears it. So yeah, and just saying, I'm not running the bell cranks in this one, and I'm not upgraded to the bell cranks. And the reason why is all like 7 or so of my other cars, I don't even know how much I have anymore, all 7 or so of my other cars have bell cranks. My B4 factory team, that thing has bell cranks. They're really good. My SC10 has really good bell cranks in it, and they have slop. They just have insane slop. So really good thing I love about this car is how it has no slop anywhere. And I'm shaking this tire. The tire's the only thing moving. The link just a tiny bit. That's just the tolerances. Then this side, it's not even moving. And that's because there's not a lot of, because of the bell cranks, you have screws bolting onto other things, which I'll pull out a bell crank right now. So as you see, you have screws and ball studs screwed in to places on the bell crank where it could cause slop. Now anywhere you have a screw or a ball stud that can round out, it can cause slop. So over time you'll get slop. And it also has servo savers on some, which definitely cause slop. Which I think slop in some cases are a good thing because it can prevent other things from happening. It's like the weak spot, and it could save other parts. But in this case, I really love the slider system. And some people might disagree, but I just don't like how much slops in all my other servo saver and servo bell crank cars. So this is really good. I love how there's no slop, especially in the rear wheels. There's like little to none. And I beat the crap out of this from practice with the beginner drivers and the rental slashes. I went to practice probably like 6 times with this car. Used it like 12 times or more in total with all the batteries through it. So yeah. Another kind of a downside, at first you would think is a downside, but it's kind of common knowledge, is that some people, like Jason Snyder over at Short Course World, say that this battery Holddown doesn't fit Shorty batteries. Now, I'd say it does, and the way it was before, where this pointy part in the front was pointed this way, because I have this flipped around, it will not fit it. But if you flip it around so the concave part's fit, facing the inside here, it'll fit perfectly fine. Now, this thing, I've not dremeled anything, and I have not done any sort of modification to the car. The plastic just bends into place. And now this doesn't cause any problems, it doesn't wear anything out, it's just the slightest amount of bend, and it works. And if it will wear anything out, it's going to be just the battery strap right here from it rubbing and stuff. But it's not a big deal, and it works. I mean, I'm fine with that. It's really good. It's like it was kind of designed to do that, where the convex part was pointing into the battery tray if you're running saddles, and then the concave part's facing it if you're running shorties. So I think that's actually part of the design they were thinking of, kind of, but, or maybe it was just me figuring this out just now when I was building the kit, because I watched a lot of 22 videos before I built the kit just to see what I could change while I was building it, and this is one of the first things I've done, and actually it's the only thing I've done, and it works. And also, I don't run body mounts, which is what I forgot to say, so I just Velcro to the side. Don't run the front, don't run the sides, just run Velcro. Forgot to tell you guys that The rear shocks on this thing, it's probably not just me, but they didn't. Losi did supply all of the rings that go around the bleeder screws, so I didn't get any rear ones. So I was just left with front bleeder screw rings that go in the bleeder screws, so it seals off the oil. So I only had front ones. And I don't run any bleeder screw sort of seal in my B4 or my SC10's bleeder shocks. So I thought it would be fine not to run it with bleeder bushings inside these. And it is fine, but it does leak a little bit. I don't know if it's like my cleaning solution that I spray on it or the shock's leaking. But there's like brown stuff coming out of it. And I haven't ran it outdoors, just indoors. So I don't know if that's just gunk or oil leaking or whatever, but that's just that one problem I had with this kit. Just didn't have the other two shock seals for the bleeder screws. That's not a big deal. I have a ton more that I could easily put onto this, but I was like, eh, screw it, I'll do it. And I mean, it's still, you can still hear that there's like no air in the shocks. The front, yeah, there's probably a little air because I had to rush to get this built because I was going to the track the next day. But yeah. The diff built really nice, and the ball diff works really nice. I love it. And the CVDs, they work amazing. There's no complaints with that. Built up nice, drives nice. The ball diff built up especially nice. And yeah, this thing, if you don't know, comes with the aluminum rear hex hubs, a lot of aluminum spacers for your ball stud mounts, and your little mounts down there on the A-arms, not mounts, but like spacers for doing your chassis length. And then you've also got aluminum bulkhead, if you can't see that. It says TLR right there on bulkhead. It's aluminum. You get pretty much all aluminum camber mounts. No, that's not camber. What's it called? Toe mounts or whatever you call these things. I can't remember. I'm pretty forgetful sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. That's it for all the good things. Now let's talk about how it drove. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a Jconcepts Finisher wing on the back, and I did use the Losi wing, but those slashes, I tell you, they beat the crap out of your car. Those rental slashes. Kids don't know how to drive. Please get them off the track if they're under 14 or they don't know how to drive a straight lap. I mean, we spent a lot of money for these cars, and I'd highly appreciate it if people just thought a little bit about that. I mean, I never even raced it with that stock wing, and it's broken. So, enough of that. So, yeah, I run the wing. I just run it to the top setting on their Jconcepts wings, and it works pretty nice. And, yeah. So, this thing, out of the box, it drove really nice. I was surprised. I didn't use any tire softener until the next day at the track. But, yeah, it drove really nice. Cornered okay, I guess. Not for the conditions I had. It cornered kind of slippery, just drifted a little bit on the BKs. But other than that, I was driving it the whole day and I loved it. The only problem, though, I had was I made some stupid custom mod for the battery strap so I could run standard packs. And yeah, that was definitely stupid. I should not have done that. Now that I'm running shorties and saddles, they just fit in there really nice. So, then the second time at the track, I actually had appropriate shorties and saddles, these Turnigy Nanotechs, which I highly recommend because they're really good and really fast and powerful, and they last a long time. And I had tire sauce. So, yeah, I actually didn't have tire sauce that time, actually, I recall. I used some liquid wrench, and I sprayed it all over the tires. And, like, a week later, they were really soft, which was from that How to Store Your RC Tires video I did, like, a long time ago. And they just hooked up immediately. They were great. They never, like, slipped out the whole time. Like, they never lost a grip or anything. And actually, one other set of my BK bars, which is the one I soaked, I actually balled it out in the middle at the end of the day. The end of the day, they were good pins. End of the day, there was no pins. So, pretty good day at the track with those tires. And they hooked up really good the whole time. I was blasted down the straight, driving really awesome. That was that one first video I think we posted. Second trip video we posted at the Revolution Raceway track, which I'll probably link that in the description so you guys can watch that. And yeah, the third day we ran put some Simple Green on the tires, which is probably third trip to Revolution Raceway, along with some liquid wrench tire softener. And these tires kind of didn't really want to work. I mean, I don't know if it's a simple green or just like the tires in general I was using, but it just didn't want to hook up. And then when we were at the track last, which we did not get much video of, my brother was filming my stock buggy and my friend's slash two-wheel drive. We didn't film this at all, but I did change some things, and I changed it back because I really didn't like it. I moved the shocks to the very inner hole on the top, and then I moved it to the very outer hole on the bottom for just the rear. The fronts, I just changed it from the beginning, which I forgot to tell you guys, to the very inner hole in the top and the very outer hole in the bottom. It always worked really good because the car always tended to chassis roll. But yeah, I did not like it how stiff it was in the rear end. It needed a little bit more like suspension play in the arms and the rear end. So I just moved it back, and here we are today. So yeah. So for the electronics I'm running in this car, so now that we're done with the overview of it and how it runs, I'll go to electronics I'm running. I'm running mod with this because my stock buggy's my B4. I'm running the Trackstar Turbo, not Trackstar Turbo, Turnigy Trackstar 6.5 turn motor. It's got, let me see, negative end bell timing on it. I put it lower because this thing's insane. And then I'm running the Turnigy Trackstar Turbo ESC, no boost, no turbo programmed into it. Just negative end bell timing on the motor because it was way too fast. If you're going to buy a mod buggy motor, my opinion, go with like a 7.5. 6.5, way too quick. If you're that experienced, or if you just know how to whip the buggy around the track that quick, get the 6.5. 7.5, I would probably should have got, but I got the 6.5. I was like, it's negative timing, I can just turn it down. It kind of worked, but depends on what motor you buy. Servo Savox 0252. I'm getting solar servo in the mail. It is the D770. Yeah, that servo. It's got 156 ounces torque at 7.4 volts, and it goes 0.06 seconds, so that's pretty quick. Now, I'm not running that. I never ran that, so next time I'm at the track, I should have that servo, and I can race it with that, and you guys can see how that works. And I'll have a little servo review and unboxing for it and everything. So yeah. Also, I just forgot, but it's not really performance adding, is I got a TLR chassis protector. Kind of tell that it's the TLR ink is rubbing off because there's a little chunk of it right there. Used to be all up in there, and it just rubbed off. So yeah, it's not really performance changing, but I bought that so I'm gonna scratch up this beautiful champagne aluminum chassis. So overall, I would say definitely try this buggy out. I know that the 3.0 is out right now, but 3.0, honestly, big whoop. I don't see what's all about that car. I've been seeing people racing the 3.0 mod buggy at my track. Not really a new thing. I mean, B5s were just the thing there. They beat the crap out of them. And even my cousin, who races often, and he has buddies with TLR 22 3.0s, he says that they aren't really that great either. So, yeah, there's not really a lot to them. They're not that, the 3.0s I wouldn't really suggest just for my tracks, but this car, I mean, it does the job. It's really good. Doesn't need to be wide like the 3.0. And the 3.0, it just didn't distribute the battery as evenly as this car. I mean, yeah, they said, yeah, you're distributing it more evenly over the rear, needing more rear traction. But I like this car how it is. It's just, you can't replicate this with another car. It's just a really good car. And it's just the best for both worlds because it has rear motor configurations and mid motor configurations. Sorry about that. So yeah, definitely would recommend this car if you could find it. A-Main still has them at the time of this video for 100. Oh my god. Sorry about that, guys. I've got a little cough at the moment. But at A-Main, you can find these cars for about, I think $200 because they're still on sale. They still have some in stock for as of now. And obviously, I don't think TLR makes these cars anymore. So you probably get lucky finding one of these. But they are on sale, and you know where, because I just told you, Amy and Hobbies. Go pick yourself, and maybe your buddies. Tell your buddies about it too, because it's a deal. So hold on, my camera just turned off. It's a great deal, and I would definitely recommend it. It's a great car. So yeah, guys, that is today's video. The longest video that's ever going on the channel by far, because there's a lot of talking with this car. And yeah, subscribe, guys, and watch out for my new videos that I'm going to be posting tomorrow, my Tool Thursday, and also my Solar Servo unboxing. If they'd also come tomorrow, or if they come tonight, I'll make it tonight and post it tomorrow. So yeah, guys, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you later.